shit. I think I learned when I sprained my ankle the very first time in like 4th grade. Up with the good, down with the bad. Down with the bad ankle, up with the good. Getting injured forces you to take little things like walking for granted. Oh man, God, why'd it have to happen at a stupid trick at a skate park, man? The thing is too, on that hanger, I knew something bad was about to happen. I didn't expect my foot to slip under and roll my ankle that bad, but one of those things. Look at that nice view. So you know when you fall really hard and you immediately try to convince yourself that the pain is not that bad, but then within a couple seconds you realize like, oh, it is that bad. That's pretty much what I was going through right here.
You good?
Another note, this is not dramatized. Like I'm watching this footage and it almost looks like I'm faking how much this hurt. This hurt equally as bad as the first time I rolled my ankle out on the beach. With the tail whip. Honestly, it's already kind of, well, it's relatively healed up. I definitely need to go get an x-ray because it's still pretty swollen. I'll show you in a second. Yeah, this is not fake. This isn't dramatized. This is real pain, people. Actual BMX pain. Well, like they say, pain is gain, right? Awesome, 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 awesome. Well, looks like I'm going back to the hospital. Another x-ray. Not much to say other than pretty over BMX right now. Another ankle injury. At least I'm in at least this one's controllable. I'm not in like uncontrollable pain. As you can see, ankles, it's pretty, yeah, usually ankles don't look like that. Next day, my ankle feels honestly better than it did yesterday after the crash. That crash is not nearly as bad as the one that completely put me out of commission for a couple weeks. I was riding my bike around fine earlier this morning. I'm wearing this ankle brace that this guy, Mike Gray, gave to me. It's called the Space Brace. Space Brace. This thing is saving my life right now. It honestly is making my ankle feel amazing. So I'm gonna attempt to go out and ride. I'm not gonna do anything serious, obviously, but I don't know. It doesn't hurt bad to pedal around. Like, it feels honestly fine while I'm wearing this brace. So on Monday, I'm gonna go get MRI'd, X-rayed, whatever I gotta do, but right now I'm gonna listen to the Casey Neistat podcast. Excellent stuff. I highly recommend you check it out. Philip DeFranco's channel, Casey Neistat podcast, spitting that knowledge.
Something out here for you, do it. And
You know, anytime I get an injury like the one I got the other day, all it leads me to think is like, what What comes next? What's gonna come after YouTube? What happens after I'm done doing tricks for you guys, after I'm done riding down hills? Like, how temporary is YouTube, or how permanent is it, rather? So many questions. Injuries, injuries infect your brain with doubt. When you undergo like a bad injury as an athlete, whether you ride bike, skateboard, whatever, all it does is it forces you to think about the future in a negative way too, not in like a positive way, like, you know, how am I gonna continue to succeed or whatever. It makes you think like, what is gonna happen after I can't do what I do anymore? And that's honestly a far more terrifying reality than trying to think of new exciting things to do every day, because that's a fun challenge. Thinking about what you're gonna do after you have to stop doing your current career, that's totally different, and that's something I honestly struggle with some days. And to be honest, I mean, now I'm back riding. I'm pretty mobile on my ankle injury, but it's still present on my mind in some capacity. Sun's setting. I'm gonna keep cruising. I think the craziest thing that I've obtained from listening to this podcast with Philip DeFranco and Casey Neistat is just like, coming from the guy who absolutely pioneered the craft of vlogging, for him to say that it's on his tail end of existence, it pretty much, it sends shivers down my spine. It makes me think like, what's next? This guy's a parrot on his shoulder. That is sick. That's a thing. But it makes me realize, he's saying comedy is the next big thing to be taking over. Does that mean I need to start being funny? Should I start being funnier? Do people not care about cinematography? At the end of the day, no one ever watched Casey Neistat for his time lapses or his sunsets. They watched him for him, same way as someone would watch Philip DeFranco to see Philip DeFranco. I mean, anyone can get news from wherever, but when someone entertaining is presenting that news, I think that's when it becomes far more engaging. I mean, maybe it just is a wake-up call for me to become more engaging in the way I present BMX and my BMX tricks, because that's kind of, you know, what I feel like has represented myself and what's carried my channel all the way to where it is now. But strange time, someone's flying a drone. Look at that thing. Drone. It makes me feel two things. One, it's like, all right, it's time to start switching the game up, because clearly if that guy, the boss, is saying it, then who knows what's gonna happen next. But two, like, every time I've had any type of divergence in my life, I've said this before, I've never felt like I've been scared or threatened. Like, if there's anything I'm good at in my life, it's adapting to loss or change. If shit starts going south, I will figure it out and I will change my entire plan to adapt with it. All I can say is this, like, I thought the industry of freelance video was gonna be dead. I thought it was gonna be a dying field. I thought all the power would be in like creators at this point. I thought big brands would be shoving money towards creators, stop paying like production companies to do stuff at a certain point. That's what I actually thought in my head. And I was completely wrong. Like, basically, if you still wanna get paid millions by a brand, you're pretty much a production agency. You know, you're a house. Apple's not really gonna be paying creators big bucks to represent their stuff. They're still gonna pay, you know, a place like Milk, a big production agency, a bunch of money, and they'll do it. Like, that's still pretty much the norm. Now, the outlier to that situation is obviously like Casey Neistat, someone who has something going on with stuff like Samsung. Things like that, that's still like relatively obtainable, but you have to be at the very top of the food chain to get deals like that. What up? Hey,
Hey, we out here.
We out here, facts. I don't know, all I can say, if YouTube decides once again that vloggers should not be getting paid, AdSense money goes down, I'll figure it out. I think the main thing I gotta turn, the hell is this? I felt like I was at Venice Beach for a second. I haven't been to a jump circle in a minute. That's it though. That injury happened back on Friday. Today is Sunday, so I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I guess I'll get an x-ray to see what's going on with it. It feels fine, honestly. Gotta roll with the punches out here. Either way, signing off, another Hicks film. Peace.